Welcome to the Warframe Open Encyclopedia, where today we're checking out the Ether Reaper. The blueprint for the Ether Reaper is available from the market, and the weapon is very easy to build. It only takes 15,000 credits, 1,000 polymer bundles, 1,000 rubido, 10 morphics, and 1,000 ferrite. The Ether Reaper is a master rank 4 scythe that does primarily slash damage with only a little bit of impact and puncture on the side. It also comes with a solid 20% crit and status chance, a standard 2x crit multiplier, fairly solid attack speed of 1.08, and pretty good range too. Now, since you can get this weapon very early on, let's check out the basic build first, which is gonna look something like this. You add some damage with pressure point, a little bit of crit with true steel and organ shatter, some attack speed with fury, a little bit of status with melee prowess, then some armor stripping with shattering impact, and finally corrosive damage via shocking touch and fever strike. This is gonna give you more than enough damage to go through the entire star chart, do all the fissure missions, all the nightmare missions, and maybe some early sorties as well, though I wouldn't necessarily recommend it with this build. If, however, you want a little bit more performance out of your Ether Reaper, I would instead recommend a slash heavy hybrid setup, kinda like this one. Now, I personally like to run prime pressure point on this one because I like a little bit more upfront damage, but if you don't mind having a lower upfront damage, you should run Condition Overload. It is gonna be better in the long term. And other than that, it's pretty standard. We have Blood Rush and Organ Shatter for the crit, Berserker Fury for the attack speed, Weeping Wounds to get a ton of status, Drifting Contact for the combo duration, though if you're running Naramon, you can actually take this out and put in something else, like Primed Reach for example, and then we're gonna top it off with 2 unranked dual stat mods to get as little viral damage as possible. And you really want to go with unranked dual stat mods here so that you do proc far more slash than viral. Because this weapon kind of struggles with damage, it's not too bad, but once you go above level 100, you start to feel the low base damage the weapon comes with. So proccing as much slash as possible is very important. And this is actually the main downside of the Ether Reaper. The stats on it are pretty great except for the low base damage. It has the second lowest damage out of all the sites. It does, however, have a bit of an ace up its sleeve because its Riven disposition is very high. This is something I don't mention usually because, of course, Riven disposition changes over time, but some weapons, like the Ether Reaper, have had consistently high Riven disposition. This can make a massive difference with a weapon like the Ether Reaper because its low base damage can easily be countered by a well-rolled Riven. And the Rivens tend not to be too expensive since the weapon isn't all that popular. So even though I wouldn't necessarily recommend it outside of the Mastery because it's easily outclassed by weapons such as the Tenet Grigori or the Reaper Prime, it might be worth picking up if you can get a decent Riven for it. It's also a much better starting site for newer players because its damage distribution is far better than the damage distribution on the Anku. And that is pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching. As always guys, I hope you've enjoyed it and found it helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.